Welcome to Producing Unscripted
with Joke and Biagio.
YouTube enhanced version. Clickable table of contents in description below.
This episode.
It's episode 2. We've got a new series going to air after teaming up with someone from Cleveland. They're getting their first producing credit on a television show. You could be next. We'll share the important step you must take before we'll consider teaming up with you on a show. And yes, it does involve following some simple directions. You'll learn the shocking truth about your ideas in Hollywood. And we end on a cliffhanger that leaves Joke saying,
"Oh my goodness."
Music courtesy Dave Pellman Music.
DavePellman.com.
All right, thanks for tuning in for our second episode of Producing Unscripted. She's Joke.
He's Biagio.
And we're married. We make unscripted film and television and want to help you do the same, hopefully, by teaming up with us. It's a busy time right now at our company, Joke Productions, isn't it, honey?
Yes, we have a very revealing True Life Presents special airing later this month. Our bio channel show, Ghost Inside My Child, is returning late summer. And then we have a top secret A&E project that will hopefully make air in the fall.
It's going to be on A&E. Top secret, though.
Top secret.
I can't wait to talk about that one. It is super exciting. We've got other pilots going on right now. We've got
several projects in various stages of development. Isn't that the line?
That's the old Hollywood term. We've got several projects, numerous projects in various stages of development. We actually do. You know, some of those you'll be hearing about soon. Some of those will drag out in negotiations for a good year before we ever get anywhere near shooting them. That's just the business sometimes. But we have a lot of stuff going on. And like we mentioned, Ghost Inside My Child came from one of you, Suzanne Stratford in Cleveland, who was really interested in getting into unscripted television. And through our outreach, we met her, and now that show is on television. And she got her first official producing credit in unscripted television on this show. So why not you? Why not you next? That is a big part of the reason we're doing this podcast. It's the main reason we're doing this podcast.
We know what it's like to live in a one-bedroom apartment, living on ramen noodles, wondering if we really have enough money to even go to the movies.
Yes.
Remember the day when pizza was a luxury?
Pizza was a luxury, and I was a pizza delivery guy.
Yeah, so we got a free personal pan-sized pizza
occasionally.
every day. That wasn't enough to feed both of us.
I don't know if I can ever eat ramen noodles again. I'll just tell the truth.
Are they still 10 cents a pack?
They might still be 10 cents a pack. I don't know.
If not, I just really aged us.
Oh my gosh. If they're like $1 a pack now,
it would kind of defeat the purpose of ramen noodles.
It would defeat the purpose of ramen noodles. But you know, we know it's hard when you don't have anyone to talk to. And so we always said when we got to a point where we were successful, you know, we would welcome pitches from aspiring producers and filmmakers.
Okay, but let's be honest. Really, we just want to find ourselves 10 years ago.
Well, yes. I wish I could find Joke and Biagio 10 years ago, starving in their apartment, but shooting and editing all kinds of video pitches and creating a bunch of ideas and just wanting to find someone to pitch them to.
Okay, but not that we want you to be starving.
You don't need to be starving. No.
Just that we want hardworking, focused, determined, eager, excited, passionate people.
Excited, passionate people who are looking for an avenue to break into the business. For us, that avenue was unscripted television, documentary, and, you know, I think one of the greatest things about what we do is it's inspired us because we've met so many amazing people all over the world who not only make for great unscripted television, but when the day comes that we do want to do a scripted project, guess what? I've met more real-life characters in the last 10 years than most people meet in a lifetime.
That's the main reason I love unscripted. Is the people you meet and the places you get to go, the access you get to experience. You get to spend time in someone else's life for a little bit, which is, you know, very enriching and eye-opening and fulfilling.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step right up for your chance to win.
Now, if you're going to pitch us a show, first step, go to jokeandbiagio.com and click on the giant link that says pitch us a show. So pretty easy to get started. Now there are
if you miss it, go to the eye doctor first.
Yeah, if you it's very big. I mean, if you do miss it, you probably shouldn't be pitching to us anyway. There are once you follow that link, there are a few simple hoops that you're going to have to jump through. If you're unable to follow those simple directions, or if you're too impatient to get through it, you're probably not the kind of person we're going to team up with. Sorry.
You're probably not the kind of person that should be in this business.
Yeah.
In other words, it's really simple.
It's really simple. So just follow the directions and we'll get started. Now, I do want to talk about something important, though. Part of the process of submitting a pitch to us is signing a submission agreement. Once you sign up for our newsletter, you'll have instructions on how to get a submission agreement. Now, submission agreements are a pretty standard thing in Hollywood, especially for production companies and studios that are willing to hear your ideas if you're not repped by an agent or a lawyer or a manager. We worked with our lawyers on this for several months because they wanted us to do this 7-page Bible. Do you remember that joke?
Oh, I remember.
And Joke just kept going, why does it have to be this hard? We just want it to be easy. We just want people to sign the simplest submission agreement possible so we can all feel good about it. And so after a lot of haggling with our lawyers, we managed to get it down to a 1-page that spells out 8 easy to understand points in a fairly large font size.
Am I signing my life away here?
Okay, so why do you have to sign a submission agreement? First off, we're a production company. Yeah, you have to understand, we get hundreds of pitches. The chances that your idea or that the base of your idea is completely unique, it's very slim. Okay. And by the way, we get pitched the same 5 or 6 ideas over and over and over again. So part of this podcast series is to help you find shows we'd actually be interested in.
Things we've never heard of.
Yeah. And chances are, no matter what you send to us, some version of it has been pitched to us or someone else. I mean, look, Survivor, the granddaddy of reality TV, right? Survivor came out in 2000. That's 13 years ago. In 13 years, every twist on every idea you could ever imagine has been pitched. So there is a good chance that we may have already been pitched, or even might already be working on something that is similar to the idea that you were pitching. And that brings us to the main point of this episode, which is that ideas in and of themselves are not enough.
But that's my idea.
All Hollywood newbies in every area of Hollywood, they seem to ask this question at some point. What if my idea gets stolen? Here's the thing. That's kind of one of the biggest myths in Hollywood, that your ideas can get stolen. And here's why. First of all, legally, an idea is not protectable. The only thing that's protectable is the execution of that idea.
Well, let's just, play for a second. If we look up what idea actually means, it is any concept existing in the mind as a result of mental understanding, a thought, conception, or notion, an impression, an opinion, view, or belief, a groundless supposition, or fantasy. So, in other words, these are very hard to copyright because everybody has ideas. It's really in how do you execute an idea? What is the point of view on that idea? Those are the kind of things that start shaping a show pitch.
Yeah, and so we're going to try and give you some examples to help you understand this. First of all, I want you to think about this. We live in a world where trading spouses and wife swap can both be on the air at the same time on different networks, and there's absolutely nothing that can be legally done about it.
The Contender, The Great Champ.
Basically the same exact show. 2 different networks, kind of the same idea, right?
Well, it's if you boil it down to what is the idea, it's to finding a next boxer. It's a competition elimination show, finding the next boxer. They both have the same idea. So if you come to us and say, hey, I have an idea for an elimination show where we find the next great boxer, already done twice. So again,
what's different about it though is the execution
and the talent attached. One has Sylvester Stallone, the other had Oscar De La Hoya. Different game rules and stuff like that can separate an idea, but again, a core idea is not enough.
It's not enough. And I want to give you an example here. One of our mentors, a person we took a class from a long time ago, told us this story about one Survivor hit about a show pitch he went out and pitched everywhere. Joke, you want to talk about this?
Yeah. He, as many people did, after Survivor became big, he was out pitching Survivor in the business world. And he went, everywhere. All the big networks, sat down with NBC, everybody. And nobody was buying Survivor in the business world. Until Mark Burnett got Donald Trump to sign up. And they sold The Apprentice.
There you go. Same exact idea. Execution a little bit different. You're Mark Burnett, who's already done Survivor, by the way. You've got Donald Trump, who is kind of the ultimate person to offer a job on a show like...
In the business world.
Yeah, in the business world, on a show like The Apprentice. So now it's a lot more than an idea. When that pitch went out, that was a pitch. It was an idea.
It was a
plus.
package.
It was a package, an idea plus. It was a package. So you've got Mark Burnett, you've got Donald Trump, and you've got the idea. Now you might be thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to attach big talent like that? And I don't want you to get too worried or too concerned. We're going to be talking a lot more about ways that you can make your ideas into pitches in future episodes. So just hang tight, because once you understand this concept, the concept that ideas are not enough, that it's the way that you package up that idea and present it when you go out to sell a show, you're going to be head and shoulders above 99% of the people pitching ideas in Hollywood. Forget about, oh, I have an idea, I have an idea, I have an idea. Start thinking about, I have an idea that I want to mold into a sellable project, into a sellable pitch. And the fact of the matter is, there is one thing you can do, okay, one thing you can do that will instantly take your idea to a whole new level. One thing you can do that will make us want to work with you, that will
protect
your idea. It'll simultaneously make us want to work with you, protect your idea, and actually give you a much better shot at having a career. And that one thing is the topic of our next episode. Oh, cliffhanger. Well, listen, we are TV producers. You have to expect cliffhangers now and then, right, Joke?
Oh my goodness.
Is this just too mean?
I live my life in cliffhangers with Biagio.
Well, listen, here's the good news. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. You can subscribe over at iTunes. Also, you can keep up with us over at jokeandbiagio.com. So until next week, hope you're doing great, and thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Producing Unscripted
with Joke and Biagio.